From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White. MPs have returned to the House of Commons, where Prime Minister Mark Carney has squared off against Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre in person for the first time during question period. Poilievre returns to Parliament after his recent Alberta by-election win, and he says things are worse now than under the last government.
He promised that he would spend less. He's already spending 8% more. He promised the budget would be in October. Now he says it will be in November, more than halfway through the fiscal year. He promised that his government would have a smaller deficit than Justin Trudeau. Instead, now we hear that it might even be double.
Government House Leader Stephen McKinnon has said the budget is set to be presented to the House next month. Carney responded to Poilievre's barbs by listing off government accomplishments during the time the Conservative leader was not an MP. The Quebec mother accused of abandoning her 3-year-old daughter in rural Ontario has been declared not criminally responsible by way of mental disorder. Ontario Provincial Police found the child alive and conscious back in June east of Ottawa after a 3-day search that gripped the country. An expert on the Supreme Court of Canada says a BC ostrich farm faces very low odds of getting a hearing to stop a cull of its birds. Political science professor Emmett McFarland says multiple lower courts deciding not to stop the cull order after an avian flu outbreak suggests there's not much legal controversy. Voters in Newfoundland and Labrador will head to the polls October 14th. Liberal leader John Hogan says Newfoundland and Labrador is at a crossroads and hopes his party will win another majority government to continue its work.
I think a lot of us feel we're still trying to get to where we can be and where we deserve to be.
But his main challenger, Progressive Conservative leader Tony Wakeham, says the province could get more money from its Hydro-Quebec deal, and he's pledged a review of the agreement. The Canadian Real Estate Association says it recorded the most home sales for August in 4 years. The number of residential properties changing hands rose nearly 2% from a year ago, with the national average sale price up almost by the same amount. Halifax-based broker Matt Hansberger says the market is not yet seeing all-out bidding wars.
If you put it on at the right price now, you should expect some level of activity, and you should probably expect to sell it in a reasonable amount of time. So, healthy imbalance is good there. So, but telling the sellers the importance of proper pricing is the most important thing.
The Canadian Real Estate Association says transactions have risen a cumulative 12.5% since March. Canadian Tire is partnering with coffee giant Tim Hortons. The two companies say customers who link their Triangle and Tim's Rewards accounts will earn Canadian Tire money on eligible purchases at the restaurant chain. Details yet to be announced, but it's set to start sometime next year. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Toronto Blue Jays are riding a 4-game winning streak going into tonight's series opener against the Rays in Tampa, Florida. Toronto is 2.5 games ahead of Detroit for best record in the American League. Montreal Canadiens defenseman Lane Hutson enters the final year of his entry-level contract this season, yet to put pen to paper since becoming eligible to sign an extension July 1st. So, is he disappointed?
It'd be nice for sure, but, I just still got a job to do, got to get ready for the season, and, my focus is kind of on what I can do to help the team and, do my job.
Hutson also made it clear today he is committed to USA Hockey, brushing off chatter his father stirred up about a possible future with Canada. And Ed Jockman has died at the age of 86. The Sudbury, Ontario native is in the Hockey Hall of Fame, and he was one of the faces of the New York Rangers in the 1960s and 70s. From the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.